that train.
Welcome to Big Blend Radio with Nancy and Lisa, the Big Blend mother-daughter travel team and publishers of Big Blend magazines. You just heard Catch That Train, and it's the title track to the brand new EP by David-t-Dunn, and it's out on Star One Records now, being played internationally on different radio channels, all kinds of streaming devices, places, destinations. But go to his website, David-T, for like, T-bone. David-t-Dunn with two N's, david-t-dunn-music.com, and super happy to have him here because this EP rocks, and I'm ready for more. It's road trip music, right, Nancy?
Wouldn't it be fun if you were at a train station and they were blaring that out?
Yeah,
and you'd be all like, "Oh my God, I gotta catch that train!"
Yeah, those old school platforms.
I know,
right?
So much fun.
I know. Or you could be one of those that just jumps the train.
Catch it.
Catch it,
oh,
man.
You mean like the hobo people?
Yeah.
I like that too. You just wait for the train and it's slowing down and you hop on in. Not that I've ever done that.
No,
but I couldn't.
No, because that requires jumping.
I know, but sometimes they actually stop, and then you can crawl in.
All right, David, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. You guys are tripping on trains there, man.
Hey, why not? But there's something about train rides that is just so cool. You can you can just chill out, watch the scenery.
Good way to travel if you can do it.
Yeah. So tell us about this song because I love it. I love the whole EP, and I can't wait to get on the road and listen to it on the road on an epic road trip. We're going to be doing that this fall. So you're definitely on the playlist, and I just want more than an EP. I just have to say that. That's
we could, there's that one stretch where you always kind of race in the train.
Yeah.
Alongside there in the desert.
She's still on the train.
I'm on the train.
Yeah, tell us the background of this. Were you catching one? Were you running after one?
No. Actually, I think I was going up the road for some milk or something like that. That song's actually probably 25 years old or more. And I wrote it in Atlanta. I headed up to the grocery store one night. It kind of popped into my head, and I managed to remember enough of it before when I got home and wrote it down and messed around with playing it a little bit. So it just sort of, I don't know, it was there, and I wrote it down. I said, thank you for another song, whoever sends those. So I really didn't write it about a train. That's just what came up,
Yeah.
It's just a mythological train, actually, in the song.
Your lyrics are cool.
Yeah.
I like songs
thank you.
I can hear exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I get it.
And you just can relax. Like, you can just soak it up. That's the thing.
Cool.
I think sometimes music gets too complex, and it's like, oh, my God, now I have to think. I don't want that. Like, I can't anyway. I can't think. I'm blonde.
I'm incapable of complex things, so my stuff has to be simple, And I purposely try to make my lyrics audible.
Yeah.
I
love
that. Because, if why write the lyrics if you don't sing them where people can understand them? What's the point,
Exactly.
Thank you for that.
But it's your music does catch you in, like it'll catch you in, it gets you in, like you're in it immediately. The melodies, you know it. I barely heard half of Catch That Train, and I was like, okay, yes, please bring him on the show because it's just so catchy immediately.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Lots of songwriting practice?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm always oriented around the hook. When I was a little kid, I was always waiting for that part of the song to come along I could sing along with, And that's kind of the way I write. I play guitar every day just to keep in stroke, and if something comes up to write, I will. But as far as sitting down and having a structured writing thing, I don't really work that way. I wait for something to drift into my mind that's a meeting of, a percussive thing, a melodic thing, and a rhythm, and it kind of merges around a phrase or something. And I don't know. I don't really feel like I even create that. It just floats into my brain. I don't know where it comes from. But once I got that part and I can sing the chorus or the hook of the song, then I can use just the craft of songwriting to write a song around whatever point that seems to be making. So I guess I kind of work backwards for most people. I don't know. But I don't actually sit around and try to come up with something, because when I do, it's pretty mediocre. Most of the good stuff, it shows up on its own, and then you can finish it up from there.
And you got to get it while it's there. Otherwise, it's
you can't ignore the muse. As soon as it's there, you have to.
Yep.
That's what smartphones are great for, because you can sing into them, you can put all the lyrics into them immediately. So if you're not able to work on it right then, you can actually go back and reference it and recapture the magic, because. Before they had those, it was unless you could get it recorded quickly. Sometimes you could remember the words and almost remember how it goes, but somehow the magic had leaked out of it somehow. So, and I use that a lot. I have a bunch of ideas on my phone now. I got to go back and revisit.
It reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where he had that joke. In the middle of the night, he wrote it on a little yellow piece of paper.
And then he couldn't read it.
And then I don't know what happened to the piece of paper. I can't remember the whole thing. And he was like, he didn't know what it was. People were like guessing at what it was, And it was like, this was the most epic one. Do you ever get songs in your dreams, like that wake you up and like, okay, now I have to get up, damn it?
I've written actually a couple of songs that were completely done in a dream. And I got up and went, wow, what's that? Let me get up and get this, catalog before I forget it. And I'm always grateful for that stuff. The easier the better. So.
See, that's really funny. I like that, because it's like if you're taking photos of an animal and you're like crawling through the bush and you're looking for the animal, and the animal's like, I'm not coming out yet. And then one day it'll just walk up in front of you and like, look at this, and then get this my good side, that's the other side, and then you don't have your camera, so you got to show up.
Or you're too slow, and then he bails.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like trying to photograph birds. you know.
Yeah.
But this is interesting to me about your music because it's got this laid back vibe. And when you called in before we started getting this on tape that we don't have anymore in the world.
That's right.
You were talking about that you're in Panama City, and that's, you know, Nancy and I both lived out there, Panama City Beach, and there's Panama City, and then Fort Walton, the whole Panhandle area. We kind of trolled around for a while. And it's a cool area, and I always thought I saw some great blues music out there, and this was over 20 years ago, but you know, the music, as soon as I didn't know that you lived out in Florida, like on the Panhandle. I just knew you could be there or Atlanta. And as soon as I listened to the music,
originally.
I felt sand on my toes, and I always get excited about sand on my toes when music does that. There's a freeing thing to it, and I was like, there's beach rhythms, like even like Hey Hey Marcella. There's like it's almost like Taj Mahali. I'm sure he likes me changing his name. Like and then like with the Beach Boys coming in with some of the guitar licks, it's like there's a laid back rootsy vibe, but it takes you through different generations of music. It's very cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely pretty old school. Like I said, I'm simplistic and old school, and that's the only way I know how to write, you know. So I just write what comes up, you know. And it's funny because the guy that engineered the album for me, he said on one solo, I think it was the solo on Hey Hey Marcella, he hadn't heard a solo like that since he listened to Jan and Dean, you know. So I went,
wow,
that
was kind of close, the Beach Boys. Cool. All right.
Yeah, I took it as a compliment anyway, you know. So.
Yeah. What got you started in music? Because I know you were. Was this in Nashville? Because I know weren't you born and raised in Nashville, or?
I was born in Nashville. I was. My daddy was a government bureaucrat, so we traveled around a good bit, but we finally settled in Atlanta. So I spent most of my young childhood and adulthood up to about 20 years ago in Atlanta. And I don't know, I was always into music. I mean, my dad told me when he was waiting for me to be born, he said the only thing he wanted other than a healthy kid was one that could sing. And so I kind of came out of the womb singing. I mean, I have these memories of sitting in this little tiny rocking chair with my name on it, which I think I still have in my attic somewhere. And just singing away while my parents read the paper and stuff, you know. And I remember waking everybody in the house up singing Christmas carols on Christmas morning, just not with any forethought. I just start singing it. So it's just always been a natural thing to me. I don't sing that well, but I sing a lot, so, you know.
Actually, you've got a bit of a – I know that, you know, reading some of the reviews of the album, people are, you know, comparing you with, like, the band, and you know, some of the lyrics are very Dylan-esque, and there's just that vibe of it. There's stories. But there's, like, an edge in your voice that's kind of Bruce Springsteen. Has anybody said that to you? Yeah.
No, but I thought that sounds great to me. My voice is almost a little too much edge sometimes, you know. It's actually kind of pitched better for singing harmony with somebody than it is for singing leads or the main melody line. But I work with what I got, you know. I got a lot better when I accepted my limitations, as Clint Eastwood would say. So after that, I quit trying to do the things I couldn't do and concentrated on what I could do, you know. So works a lot better.
I think you could write a song called "My Daddy Was a Government Bureaucrat."
I know. Yeah.
Well, I probably could, but hopefully it would be okay.
So what's it like in Panama City now, you know, music-wise? Because, you know, that I remember seeing, like, James Peterson play out in Destin, and, you know, I know, and going out in Pensacola, is the Seville Quarter still there? Because I remember different bands and different rooms.
Yeah.
You know, it was cool.
Well, the Panama City itself used to not have a lot of places to play. I'm not talking about the beach now. I live on the city side in Lynn Haven, which is just up the street from it. But about the last 2 years, there's been a lot of places open up, and like little storefronts. They'll have a shop up front, and then they'll have a bar and a music venue in the back. And I played a place in St. Andrews area last night called the Mariner's Daughter, which is just a great place to play. And so there's several of those now. I said me and my wife were talking about that recently here, how there's so many more places to play now than there used to be. You used to have to go out on the beach if you wanted to stay local. and play somewhere, and then you had to play a lot of copy music, which I hate doing that. But in town now, there's a lot of stuff, and they'll pretty much let you play all originals, you know, and which is what I like to do.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd rather sit. I always bother people. I'll throw something in a tip jar and go play me some original stuff, you know. I mean, you're doing great on the copy, but I want to hear what you wrote, you know. So.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. I think that when you're starting to do, I think sometimes you have to do like a cover so people can get to know you. But I don't know. Now it's like with what's happening on the internet. Like look at how you're over 700 streaming and download places are getting your music and streaming it. You're in over 140 countries now with the EP.
Yeah.
And you think about what the internet has done, it's amazing. And people truly are seeking out new music. And I think it's the same thing. I don't know where we get this little programming where it's hard to look for new things, but avid music lovers are always on the hunt for something good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They always are. And so whenever you can get a venue that allows you to do originals, thank God. You know, it's like we need it. You know,
I don't really ever ask them. I just play it. You know, I mean, I do throw a cover or two in there, like you say, but I probably play 3/4 of my show is all original. And places will let me just do all original. I'll do that. Folks that are familiar with me, you know, they'll come to hear those songs. So that's neat.
But that's what I was saying. I think yours is so easy to get into that you could play, originals all night, and people are just enjoying it because it just feels good.
Yeah.
You know,
well, you know what? It's like I never announce a song as an original song. I mean, you go see a lot of local folks and they'll go, well, this is an original song. I never tell people it's something I wrote. And I'll have folks come up to me afterwards and go, who did that song that you did? And I'll go, well, nobody did it. I did it. And I always consider that a compliment if they thought that was somebody else's work, you know, because that means they thought it was a song, you know, it affected them. So.
That's a really good strategy.
I like that.
That's smart. That's really smart. I like that a lot. No, because it's this is original. Now half the audience is going to, oh, boy.
I'm going to have to think. Something new.
Some people beat that to death.
New.
You know?
Oh, no.
How can you fear music? But people do.
People are like that. They want the old tried and true, like Hotel California.
And
you
you must do it. Yeah. Don't change it. Play every lick exactly the same.
Oh, wow.
Modify your voice.
Yeah.
Please stop playing that.
I think that's a really good strategy. And then they'll just get into it, and before they know they'd like it, and then they're like, oh, I can't remember where I heard that before. I think that's cool. Smart.
Well, you know, I like it when things sound familiar, you know, when you start writing them and you know it's something you're coming up with, but it still sounds familiar to you. So, I mean, it's just a compilation of the millions of hours you spent listening to music your whole life, which I've always done. So it's it percolates to the top in a little bit new form. So.
Yeah, Lisa and I talk about this a lot about musicians, where there's certain little bits of the song you'll go, oh, that sounds like this, and that sounds like that, and that sounds like that. And then, you know, is it copied? Is it just inspired by? And then we look at people like paintings. We have the same set of colors to paint a picture with, and then it's up to you to mix it. And nobody ever says, oh, my gosh, you use the same yellow as that painting over there. Nobody ever does that. But they do.
I hadn't thought about that, but that's a really good point. I mean, you know, I've started writing songs before, and I kind of think, well, this kind of sounds like something. But I don't really worry about it because by the time I get finished with it, it doesn't sound like it. You know, when I get the whole thing put together and get a rough recording of it and stuff, it doesn't sound like it anymore. So I don't. I used to worry about that, but I gave up worrying about that a long time ago. I just go with whatever's happening. You know.
There's the same kind of vibe you can get from different bands. It's like, and to me, I think it's a way of marketing. It's like, if you like this, you'll like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the marketing thing, and it has to be out there.
You sound
otherwise,
like Amazon.
Well, I know, but it's how it is. It's like, buy this. If you eat potatoes, you may like a sweet potato. Whatever. But But it is that it's a way of connecting to people and identifying. It's like with your music. I just feel like you've got a little bit of everything that's American music and blues and country. Like you got some old school vibes that are reminiscent of people, but it is still your own style. And I think that's a quality to have. And I know that things can come up, like if you go back into the greats, everybody started, even the Rolling Stones started by listening to Muddy Waters and Chuck Berry and stuff and thinking, we're going to take this and do it our own way. And that's carrying the torch as far as I'm concerned. If your sound has those old school vibes, it's like you're carrying the torch for those who aren't able to be here creating new stuff anymore. So I think it's a good thing. Yeah. Like the old and new together.
I think it's called original familiarity.
There you go.
That works for me. I like that. I like that phrase. Yeah, I write a lot. I've always kind of said that versatility is my downfall because I don't really specifically pick on any one genre. I have I think my press kit says I've written 100 songs. I've really written closer to 300 songs, and I've been writing for years, even when I wasn't in the music business per se. I still was writing songs no matter what career I was pursuing, and I've written all kind of songs, and the ones on this album, the album and the EPK that you guys got, I wanted to write, for the most part, there's 13 songs on the album, and about 9 of them are songs I thought somebody else might record. So I really kind of picked them for that reason, their singability and the fact that, above all, I'd like to be known as a writer. I enjoy entertaining, I enjoy playing, I like the whole recording process, but primarily I love to write. And that's what I'd like to be, develop my reputation as. So I have got all kinds of stuff. I've written things that college bands could play at a college football halftime shows, that kind of stuff. I was a trumpet player for a lot of years. So.
Oh wow, cool. Oh wow, that's so cool. So you got guitar, trumpet, any other in the mix there?
On the album, I played all the guitars and bass and trumpet. Well, it's actually cornet. And then I have Sean Perry plays keyboards for me, and Melissa Bowman, who's in the Crickets. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. They're kind of a folk band. They've got a couple albums out. She sang backup vocals, and my old friend Richard Gallwitzer, who was in a band with me for years, he came up from Miami and stayed with me for a week or so and did the drum tracks. And so that's how we did it.
So now I've got to ask this, as a writing, because it's that creative part, It's like an itch, that you have to scratch and you have to do it. But now on this album, if you were going to sit down and play one of your songs from the EP, what song would it be that you would want to, and with who would you want to play it with, and where? I love this question with musicians. I love this. Like if anybody, alive or passed on, that you could say, okay, I want you to cover my song, and you're going to jam with them. So who and which song?
I actually thought that Until the Next Time was the most commercial song on there. And I don't know, I always kind of heard like Norah Jones or somebody doing that song, but it's that was the most instantly, I don't know what I'm trying to say. To me, it was the catchiest, melody on the album. But they decided that Star One people wanted to push to Catch That Train, which was fine with me. Because after I thought about it, that was probably the best thing to release as a single. But anyway,
I think the Rolling Stones would love to do Catch a Train.
I know they should.
Hey, that would work too. I have no problem. They can call me anytime.
I'll dial them right now.
Yeah, let's call them.
But okay, so if Norah Jones covers that, okay, Until the Next Time, and we'll close our segment with that too.
Okay.
Where are you going to do? Where do you want her to play?
Where would I like to play it?
Yeah.
I don't know. How about Nashville? I've been spending more time up there. I was born there, but still got some blood there. But Nashville would be a good spot.
Okay, cool. One of my favorite songs on the album is, and I say album, I don't know if an EP is an album, but I think it is. Let Me Free My Mind is one of my favorites, and it's the last one on the album, right? And so tell us about that song, because I love it. Really.
A lot of people seem to like that song. I mean, I've heard that before. They go, "Oh, Catch That Train's great," but I really like "Let Me Free My Mind." The way I actually wrote that song, and I'm not making this up for effect, I was fixing to take a shower, and I got in the shower, and I just started singing it. It just hit my mind You know, the first line is a sunny day. I'm looking back over my shoulder, and that just I had the whole song finished before I got clean. I had the whole song finished and got out and grabbed the phone so I wouldn't forget it. And I don't know how that happens. I'm glad it does, but that's where that one came from. So.
Oh man, I love that.
It's just,
hey, that's yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah.
I think when you're
the whole point of that
shower,
song is, you know, everything else is falling apart, but just let me keep my mind free. You know what I mean? Let me grab a hold of that. You know, and everything else will fall away. But at least that's what I thought it was about after I finished writing it. Wasn't thinking about that when I wrote it.
So everybody who goes in the shower should sing it.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. You know, everybody talks about, well, I sing in the shower. Well, he literally does and comes out with an awesome song.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we play it? I want people to hear this.
No, that's fine. Y'all can play that one. That's cool.
All right, here it is, everyone. Let me free my mind. Again, go catch that train. Go to david-t-dunn-music.com. Of course, you can get it on all the streaming places, Amazon, all those great places. But david-t-dunn-music.com. Here it is. Let me free my mind.
It's a sunny day, I'm looking back over my shoulder. No, I can't complain if it starts to rain as I grow older. I remember back when the world was young and time was blinding. Now I see the signs, I'm in decline. My clock's unwinding, but please, oh please, let me free my mind. Free my mind. Well, I've been around, I've been up and down a rocky road, but it ain't too late to percolate and free your soul. Hanging on a vine, don't start to whine about your situation. Nothing holds you down except 10 pounds on back rotation. But please, oh please, let me free my mind. Oh please, let me free my mind. 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 Oh yeah. Let me free my mind. I can see the light is shining bright. That tunnel's in. Enemy of mine. Well, I might find that she's my friend. You can take my stuff and treat it rough. I won't leave you needing. When the bell has rung, we all had some fun and did some bleeding. But please, oh please, let me free my mind. Oh please, let me free my mind. 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 Let me free my mind.
You're listening to Big Blend Radio, and you just heard Let Me Free My Mind, and that is off of the brand new EP by David T. Dunn. It's out now on Star One Records, and it is called Catch That Train. And go to david-t-dunn-music.com, and there's two N's in that Dunn. And Nancy, that has to go on the road trip. That has to go on the road trip. It has to.
I'm just going to say Eric Burden.
Yes. You got some Burton going on. Yeah.
Yes, that is totally.
That
he
vibe.
He should buy that song.
Yeah, and he should buy that
He
song.
should buy
He
the
should
song.
buy your song. Yeah, he should.
Yeah.
He should do that. And I think your edge and your voice, David, is like so spot on, perfect. Like
It's
I
awesome.
think that's
Well,
how it
cool.
helps with the melody
I hadn't thought
carrying
of the
it.
Eric
Yeah.
Burden thing, but I guess I can kind of see that now when I think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, and it's at that
Yeah.
the rhythm, the backbeat, the whole thing is just you've got like a stew going on, but it's so definite that you don't realize there's a stew. You know?
Yeah.
It's so,
I like the
yeah.
funk thing, you know what I mean? I enjoy that kind of stuff, the old Sly and the Family Stone kind of grind, you know, where everything, lots of things are going on, but it's all kind of chugging forward, you know.
That also is a squat dance song.
Yes.
I had to bring this up.
Big
We haven't
squat
talked
dance.
about the squat dance for a while on the show. You know, at the end of the evening when the women start, there's women and guys sometimes, but
Like
mostly
how
the women
low can you go?
start to go down, like as they, they start to squat as they dance, and then some can get up and some can't. You know what I'm talking about? That's a squat dance song.
Well, when women start to dance, it's always a good thing, you know what I mean?
He's like,
as
that's
a
fine with
musician,
me.
that's what you look for when the women start to dance. You know you're doing okay.
See? That's it. That's it.
That's a definite squat.
Great, Nancy. Great.
I don't
So,
think I've
are you
ever
gonna-
heard that before.
Oh, the squat dance. It's a friend of ours, Willie Kellogg. He's a drummer. He used to drum for Flying Burrito Brothers and Canned Heat and all these bands out of San Diego. And we did some, we did some music with him over the years, and then, he was one of these. He was just at the back. He's going. You just hear this during a show, like you'd be playing, and you just hear, she's squatting, she's squatting. But you just hear it from the back while you're singing. You're like, dude, don't make me laugh.
It's funny. He's like, going to the squat.
And so it would be like, if you're doing the set list, it would be like you had to time the squat dance songs. And that's how it was. Like he'd be like, you have to put this here.
That's a lot of
you
new
put this
insight
there.
for me. I like this.
Yeah, because he builds up and he goes, that's a squatter, that not so much. Put it in front. You got it. Like by the second set, the squat's got to be there.
Yeah. You had there's like the build up to the squat, and then you had to give them a squat break, and then you had to close out with like an ultimate squat song.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to always put a squat dance in the last set at least, anyway. So.
Yeah, you got to. That's a good one. I like that.
That's where people are their most lively.
Yeah, exactly. So now, are you going to tour with the EP and your music? Are you going to play locally in Florida?
Well, I was out in Colorado for about a month, and I played several places out there, and that's the plan.
Nice.
We're actually moving from Panama City right now. We're relocated this fall out to Colorado, and we plan on at that point just using that as a base, probably Colorado Springs or somewhere in that area, and then just taking the travel trailer in the truck and hitting the road, and lining up the stuff as we go along, and play as many places as we can, go as many places as we can, and play and keep promoting things.
Nice. Colorado is like cool, man. We started
I
covering that in
Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah,
we were there about 15 years ago. We went on a little road trip when we were based up in now we're in the desert and it's hot. You know about heat, but it's hot right now.
Yeah.
But we were
I know about heat.
San Diego mountains, and we took this road trip. And I remember it was like we'd done a gig or something. It was like we left at 1:30 in the morning, like how we always managed to do that, Nancy, for some crazy reason. But we went up, and it was the coolest road trip ever. Like we went into places. They have these little tiny villagey towns, like tiny, and it's like you can party. Like they have really cool places. Like you'll be in a normal restaurant, and like. Then they'll have like this back room, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
You don't see it. Florida has that, like you were talking about. Colorado has that too, And there's a music scene happening out there too. It's cool.
We spent about a month in Salida, Colorado. My
Oh,
son
yeah,
lives there, my oldest
Ooh.
son, and his band actually was on a tour, and he needed somebody to cat sit for him, take care of his cat. So we decided, hey, free vacation. So we went and stayed at his condo while he was on the road, took care of his cats, and Salida is a very cool town. It's up about 7,000 feet, just southwest of Colorado Springs, about 2 hours. And it's only about 8,000 people live there, and the Arkansas River flows right through the bottom of town. They just had a big festival out there called Fib Art, and my son's band's called Going Nomadic, and they were on the bill at that festival. So that was
cool.
a good job for them. You know, it kind of boosted them up a little bit. So, but anyway, that's how we got associated with it, because I was born and raised and lived mainly in the South, but I think I'm gonna become more Western now. You know.
Very cool.
You have to search out a place called the Dog Bar.
Yeah, the Dog Bar. It's in a town called Kuchara, which is a small ski village. We went, a friend of ours, she lived, but she had this plot of land in the middle of nowhere, between Ludlow and Walsenburg.
Yeah.
And so she takes us in the back of a truck. It was like her and another couple. We're all in these trucks going through this national forest area, and it was crazy. We're like on one-lane roads and dirt roads, and it was crazy. And all of a sudden, you get to, and it was fall, and the leaves were changing colors like you wouldn't believe. I mean, the changing of colors there is just, oh man, it's amazing. And we get to this little village, Kuchara, and they have the Dog Bar. And I don't know if it's really called I think it is the Dog Bar.
It's called the Kuchara Dog Bar.
I remember looking up online again, and we went in, and it's like a big restaurant, very Western, very, very, very Western. But I mean, if they have a main street, it's like maybe 5 or 6 places maybe.
Well, that's a long time ago. I don't know.
But anyway, you go in, and at that point, this is a long time ago, people were allowed to bring their dogs in, which was a very interesting thing as people are drinking. But in the back room, they had like music and a pool hall and all kinds of other shenanigans going on that I'm not going to talk about on the air, but it was fun. Let's just say everybody was really happy.
It was really fun.
It's really happy state, and that bar knew how to do that. But anyway, that was a really cool, one of those life moments that you'll just never forget, of just being like a completely unique experience. But Colorado is cool. We're starting to cover it in our Parks and Travel magazine now. We just actually opened up Colorado as a territory to promote it, because it's so diverse. So I'm so glad you're going there. You have to call us and let us know what's going on. I want to know. We want Colorado reports. We want music reports
I'm there
from
for you.
Colorado. Yeah.
Okay.
So okay. So now, because you're getting on the road and doing all this, I have to ask you the road trip question.
What's
so you're
that?
Getting on the road. Okay, the road trip question is, you're going to get on the road. Okay, it's just like, you got Nora Jones singing your song, but who's coming with you, alive or passed on, that you're going to go on a road trip with? So where are you going? But we want to know, what are you playing in the car or the truck?
Well, I'm going to start off with Slim Harpo, I think. I like him a lot. And there'll be some Neil Young in there, too. I really think he's a totally unique artist, unlike any other. And a lot of old blues guys, that kind of thing. And I like the country too, but I like the hardcore old school country, which you could probably figure that out. But, that kind of thing.
Cool. Now, where are you going? Is this going to be Colorado? Or are you going to go somewhere different?
You mean to play or what? You mean to move?
No, just on a road trip. You're on a road trip. Yeah, you're on a road trip.
Maybe we'll head toward California, I guess. Back around that way. I got a good friend that's keeps wanting me to come down to Sedona, Arizona, where he lives, and and hang out. He said, you can stay at my house and just use it as a base to travel from. So he was staying at my house recently for a few days. So I'm definitely going to take him up on that. So see the place.
Man,
I just
that's beautiful.
I love the spaciousness of the West. You don't get that in the South because you're surrounded by pine trees, but out there, the wide open vistas are just knock me out,
Once you're used to it, you can't go back. Like, it's kind of I love the South, I really do. But there is something about once you're used to these big open skies and seeing everything around you. Like, I don't want buildings. Like no one in the West should have skyscrapers. Stop it. I want little like tiny houses everywhere.
We came back here and went, where are the mountains? You know, why can't I look outside my window and see some mountains? You know, but anyway.
Okay, so you got to keep us posted. Sedona is awesome. The Red Rocks, you're gonna love it out there. It's so beautiful.
That's what I hear.
Who's going in the truck with you?
Who's going in the truck with me? You mean a real person or an imaginary person? My
Either
wife
one.
is going to go with me, and if it's me and my sons did a little tour in around Alabama, Georgia, and Florida here when my son was staying with me for over the winter, and so we might get together and
cool.
you know, kind of work up a family situation because we've got all the instruments covered and. My oldest son is a writer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You need a bus.
We're debating the vehicle thing right now, so you know
Ooh.
we'll have to get what
I
we
like
need.
this.
You know.
Yes.
You got to give us a road report. That's for sure. And I love that you love Neil Young. Have you seen like him perform with Lucas Nelson in Promise of the Real?
No, I haven't seen him perform with Lucas Nelson, but I've seen him perform many times. He actually came to Panama City back when they had the BP oil spill thing. And it's been a few years back, and played by himself. You know, I think Illinois' album or something was out then, and we were fortunate enough to nail like fourth row seats right up front, and he was playing on our side of the stage, and my wife just loved it because she loves Neil Young. And then he came out, which was really weird. He had that old bird-looking bus that he travels in, and parked by the side of the Marina Civic Center. And people were showing up and hanging out there, and I was saying, he doesn't ever come out and do this kind of crap. Let's go, you know, let's go get a drink or something. He's not coming out. And sure enough, he came out wearing sweatpants and a knit hat, and he went around and shook everybody's hand and signed everybody's autograph. It was very cool, you know.
That is cool.
Nice. That's way nice. Wow.
We haven't seen him before. We used to cover some of his music, and there's just some, like, you know, Cinnamon Girl and stuff. When especially if he's back in the Crazy Horse time, I love that because they were so, like, heavy, like, just, they were good.
Yep.
Like, I love them together.
He's always good with Crazy Horse. You say you've never seen him?
Yeah, and I think no, we've never seen him live. And
oh, man, you guys need to get on the stick.
I need to. Lucas Nelson Lucas Nelson was on our show, and he was doing all this touring with him, you know. And we watched him on like YouTube and stuff, and I think he's like just an insane, cool guitarist, and we love the band, and I just think it's such a interesting. I know they're touring right now. It's just such a really good, you know, band for him, like that kind of like replaced Crazy Horse in a way, but in this younger, different way. And it's so neat. Like Neil Young, to me, he made Crosby, Stills, and Nash like stand up. Like I think. He just, like, lit fire under their butts. You know what I mean? Like, he did something to them. He changed them.
Yeah,
and
well, that's the sort of trademark. He's definitely very edgy and jagged sounding to me. I like the way he can just do the most distorted, loud thing and then turn around and just play a real soft, pretty melody on acoustic guitar. You know, I mean, not a lot of artists can pull that off, you know.
Yeah, when he gets out on the organ,
and play their own material. Ma'am?
Yeah. Yeah, when he got on the organ, too. You know, when he did that, where he just starts playing all quiet, just did it, you know. That's awesome.
Yep.
Man, very cool, very cool. Well, we've got to play until the next time. It has been such an amazing conversation with you, and you've got to keep in touch with us. We want road reports. I
certainly will.
I really think we just all need to get on the road.
I know. That's what we were on the road for 3 years, and we're still fighting the urge. To get back,
I'm beginning to think that way myself. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, are you? I was going to say, are you game for a laugh? You know, just an old British humor, a TV show. Okay. So before we play your song, I have to give a shout out to our sponsor, and I want to see if you're game to play. The sponsor, our good friend Rob Ridgway, who is on the road permanently. He's traveling around. Spontaneous Rob. In his RV, the Spontaneous, on his mic drop tour. He's in Nashville right now. He went to the Grand Ole Opry and managed to be one of their sponsors, and you know that was a dream come true for him, and it's very cool. But Spontaneous is the song game. It's an award-winning, best-selling board game, And you've got the board game, but we play the radio version. But the thing is, you get a word, and as soon as you hear that word, you've got to come up with a lyric from a song using that word, and you have to have 5 words in there. So, like, Nancy, if I say road.
Country roads, take me home.
Just because you talked about Colorado, right? See?
I was born.
Salida has the John Denver Festival. Just I remember something about that, yeah.
But there you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Okay. So are you game to play?
Sure. Has it got to be a real song? One that people have heard
Yeah.
before? Okay.
Okay. It could be one of your originals. See, but everyone,
Okay.
songgame.com. Check it out. Okay.
It's a really fun
Okay.
game.
So you've got 10 seconds, and I will have a little clock. And if you don't get it, we get to butt pan you. Which I love to play butt pan, but I hope we don't butt pan you, even though I want to play butt pan because I haven't played it for a while. Okay. So your word is. So you have to have 5 words. Song. Let's see. Your word is. I already used road. I got to come up with a good word for you. Your word is free.
Free. I'm free to be what I want any old time. I'm free to do what I want any old time.
Right on. You did it.
That's an old Stone song,
to
as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
I want to break free.
Oh, no, Nancy's she wants to be queen now.
Uh-oh. Energized.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Good stuff. I didn't get to butt pan you, but I'll save that.
Maybe next time.
For the next.
That'll
be for the next person. But thank you so much, everyone. Song Game, thank you. Spontaneous Rob, keep on traveling. He's got to get on our show for a road trip report soon, too. Don't forget, Big Blend Radio airs Sunday through Fridays. The schedule's up on bigblendradio.com. Just click there, and you'll see what's coming up, and you can listen as the shows go live, or you can listen on demand at all kinds of places, iTunes, TuneIn, all those places. But, again, go to david-t-dunn-music.com. Go get the EP, catch that train, and until the next time, perfect closing song, don't you think, David? Well done.
All right, absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us, David, and thank you, listeners, as always. Thank you, and happy travels, David.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to y'all.
You too. Take care. Here it is, everyone. Right. Until the next time.
Gonna find sang all the verses.